What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's new episode. We're going to be reacting to UFC 311. It was crazy, very unpredictable, but I do want to talk about some of these fights that caught my eye. I think four fighters who are undefeated lost their undefeated status, and now they have one loss. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Payton Talbott, talk about Jiri Prochazka, and Islam Makhachev, just because there's so many fights that went down. We'll get into Merab and Umar and all the other fights, but there's just so many. And just I really want to start off with Payton Talbott, just because there's so much talk and hype around Payton Talbott leading up to this fight. It didn't go his way. He went up against Barcelos, and I actually have some footage here of the fight. I'll put little clips just so I don't get in trouble. But it did seem like Barcelos had a strict game plan to attack Payton Talbott. He took advantage of the wrestling and jiu-jitsu. As soon as the fight started, went to a single leg, put Payton against the cage, and pretty much attacked with submissions throughout the whole first round. I just rewatched the fight right now, so I kind of have that fresh in my mind. Second round, kind of the same story. There was lots of takedowns. Payton Talbott ended up getting taken down 8 times during the match. I think Payton Talbott's wrestling experience was in high school. But he's really known to be like a stand-up kind of specialist on the feet, and we really didn't see that until the third round from Payton Talbott. Really, you could hear the crowd get involved with this USA chants and kind of cheering him on. It was very vibrant in there. Once Payton I think he got like a lateral trip on Barcelos. I'll put it right here. And it really changed the momentum of the fight. Unfortunately, it was just too late. Barcelos kind of set his mark on Payton Talbott and finished the fight there. It looked like he was trying to end the fight at the very end with this ground and pound. So I do think Payton Talbott will be back. We did make a video on kind of his upbringing and kind of his background, but dude, I think Payton Talbott is kind of the future of the UFC. You're gonna start seeing more people like this with this like mysterious aura around them. There's a lot of people trolling about Frank Ocean, and there's a lot of people talking about Payton Talbott, especially recently, just because he did lose. A lot of people were hoping he lost. A lot of people were saying he was gonna get fraud checked, and honestly, a lot of us didn't really expect him to lose this match just because he was so highly favored. I believe he was like plus 1100 on the betting odds, which is crazy. So let's check out the stats real quick about this fight with Payton Talbott here. So it went 3 rounds, went to decision. Barcelos ended up landing 91 strikes. 79% of his strikes were landed compared to Payton Talbott's 59 and 62% accuracy. Yeah, 8 takedowns. Payton did have a really nice one in the third round. Fortunately, too late. 2 submission attempts and a lot of significant strikes. So, yeah, very interesting. I do want to see what his YouTube channel is going to be like. I feel like Payton Talbot is like the inside scoop for the UFC fighters, because he's really honest of like how he feels in the cage and how things go down. So a lot of stuff did go down. I think Merab also called him out. He was saying that to not mess with Merab pretty much, because Payton Talbot did call him an idiot because Merab jumped into a frozen lake head first.
Let's go.
Ended up cutting his head and he needed stitches, but Merab didn't like that too much, so he called him out on that. I do also want to talk about Kevin Holland and de Ridder. And there has been some backlash on Kevin Holland, kind of on his fighting mentality as of late. Kevin Holland, if you guys don't know, was on the Jackson podcast and kind of had some beef with Rampage Jackson, talking about he doesn't know what a 45-70 is. And Rampage was just telling him he had an ego issue, and that's why he would talk during his fights. And Holland says that the only ego he has is when a 45-70 is involved. I'll play the clip right here.
I think it's an ego problem. That's what I think. Think it's an ego problem?
That's what I think. You say you.
I don't have much of an ego.
Since we've been honest,
unless we're sitting across the table, we're both shooting 45-70s. We're trying to see who can hit the target. I don't have much of an ego.
Well, I'm just.
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
I'm just telling.
Do you know what a 45-70?
I'm just telling my opinion. You gave your opinion about my temper tantrum.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you 100%.
Okay, it's an opinion.
I'm just
right?
saying, like, if it's not a 45-70 that we're shooting across the room, trying to see who hits the target, I'm not worried about it. Do you know what a 45-70 is?
No, I don't.
Okay, then shut the fuck up.
You'll tell me shut the fuck up?
Yeah, because you don't understand what a 45-70 is.
He doesn't know what a 45.
You're talking about ego. Now I'm giving you some ego.
I don't know. It didn't feel like Kevin Holland was in the right headspace. He says he wants to fight around 7 times this year, but he did get submitted in the very first round. So I'm not sure what happened there. Kevin Holland is a black belt, but de Ridder is also known for his grappling and wrestling. And it just seemed like as soon as de Ridder got that takedown, rear naked choke, that was pretty much it right there. See if we could see any stats from this fight. Seemed pretty even on the feet. 2 takedowns for de Ridder. It seemed pretty even. And if you guys want a full breakdown of the card, we also talked about this on the Beyond the Roll podcast. Quick plug. Honestly, I feel like this should have won fight of the night. It did go to Merab and Umar, but Jiri Prochazka versus Jamahal Hill. There was a lot of anticipation for this fight. These guys just recently fought Alex Pereira. Didn't go well for either one of them, but each fighter is special in their own way. And I feel like both of them are really trying to make a name for themselves because they are tremendous fighters. And it's just Alex Pereira is just such a dominant champion. It's hard to make a name for yourself in this lightweight division. But I felt like Jiri Prochazka, shaved head Jiri is just a different animal, bro. It felt like once his hands were up, he was able to dodge a lot of Jamahal Hill's attacks. He was able to get in and out pretty elusively. He did get clipped here and there, and he also rated his performance a C+, which is pretty interesting, showing that he's not content with his performance, or he's not satisfied, and he knows there's room for improvement, which I do feel like is that samurai mindset that, and he kind of shows that he thinks outside the box when it comes to fighting and being a fighter and understanding how the fights go. And he did get an eye poke. It was a really bad eye poke. I believe it was in the second round, but Jiri said he could see, told the doctors he could see, and he got a TKO victory. So super excited for Jiri and kind of his future. For Jamahal Hill, I do think that we should kind of see a little tune-up fight for him to get his confidence back, just because I feel like Jamahal Hill is a dog. And if you guys checked out kind of his highlights, even when he went against Paul Craig, like crazy. Like it's like this dude broke his arm and he was still fighting. Like he has no quit in him. And he did seem kind of distraught after the performance. And I'm hoping Jamahal Hill could kind of find his way back in the rankings, because we don't want to see the downfall of Jamahal Hill. It was just a great fight. And now Merab and Umar, we kind of knew this one was going to be a tough fight for either one of them. We didn't know where this fight was going to go, just because they're so wrestling dominant. We felt like it was just going to be a bunch of takedowns, but there's so many strikes involved. But Merab's cardio just really showed throughout the whole fight, bro. And I had to watch some highlights just because I did miss some of the fight, not gonna lie. But Merab had 7 takedowns to Umar's 2, and just landed overall a couple more strikes than Umar. But it was just that pace that Merab has is really hard to stop. And maybe we'll see Merab against O'Malley, or maybe O'Malley goes against Corey Sandhagen. We're not sure how Sean Shelby's gonna hook up the kind of the matchmaking. But Merab, on some of these podcasts, he mentioned right after the fight, he's down to fight in March. He really wants to fight in New York. So we might see Merab defend the belt another time this year, maybe once or twice, which will be interesting. Now, Islam Makhachev versus Mr. Money Moicano. It was really hard for Renato to kind of get something going. It was on one day's notice. He's moved up to this championship fight. I was cheering for him. I really wanted him to do well. Renato Moicano is a black belt, and I felt like he was going to be able to kind of dictate some of the submissions or dictate some of the exchanges on the ground. Say if Islam took him down, I thought maybe in round 2 or 3 we would see some of that. But that it was not the case. In the first round, saw Islam, stand up on the feet. He got hit in the armpit, looked like he got dropped. It was really fast. It seemed like he slipped. I think it was counted as a slip. And then once Islam took down Moicano, went to half guard. As soon as he set him up, he kind of got up into this like headlock guillotine position, and then boom, right into the darce.
People underestimate this choke because I don't know who teach me this, but I have the techniques. I don't go like right away here. I choke from my wrist, I take the wrist and close.
And close it.
And if you guys checked out Mighty Mouse's video with Islam, Islam likes to lock up the darce around the wrist and kind of just pulls the elbows in, uses the lats, and it's cinched up, bro. So same thing with Dustin Poirier. Just fought Saint Denis, pieced up Saint Denis, and then ends up getting darced by Islam. So I was really rooting for Moicano just because I have been noticing that he has been in the UFC for a long time, even with the UFC games, UFC 3, UFC 4. This guy's on UFC 5. Like he's been fighting in the UFC for a long time. And maybe this wasn't the best way for him to prove himself, but hey, a title shot's a title shot, and he had the opportunity. And I do want to talk to you guys about Paddy the Baddy because he did a reaction to this submission.
Oh, you fucking tap that quick, Renato. Go asleep, lad. Go out on your shield. I fucking hate that, You're in a fucking choke, lad. You're not going to snap your neck.
I don't know how you guys feel about that. Do you guys feel like Moicano should have not tapped? He did tap quickly just because how fierce of a squeeze Islam had. But Paddy was not feeling it. He's saying, if you're going to do that, go out. And I don't know if you guys have ever been choked out, but once the blood stops going to your freaking brain, it doesn't feel good. So I think, tapping would be kind of the right decision for Moicano. But I guess really it's different once you're fighting MMA. It's like you feel like you have to die in there, I guess, to be able to say you went out on your shield. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that, about kind of just going unconscious, going to sleep. I did hear on a podcast with Hodger Gracie and Lex Friedman that your tolerance does go down the more you go out. So if you've been out before, the less it's going to take to be able to go out again. I'm not sure if that's scientifically proven or actually real, but that's what I heard on a podcast. So let me know what you guys think down below about that. So thank you guys for watching today's episode. We talked about a lot of fights: Payton Talbott, Jiri Prochazka, Umar, Merab, Islam. But we got some good stuff in the works. Not sure what's gonna happen with Arman. Might see Charles Oliveira get a match with Islam. It's looking dicey, but I'm here for it. I'm gonna keep on posting videos about it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. And if you guys checked out that video of Jiri Prochazka, please let me know what he was trying to say, bro. It did not seem like that was what he was trying to say. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm not even gonna put it in here, bro. It was crazy. It was insane. So hope you guys have a great day. Appreciate all you guys. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. We out.